here are the gambling picks. So far, I have given you out 50 gambling picks on Outkick. 30 of them have been winners. 20 of them have been losers. That means right now we are winning at a 60% rate on the gambling picks. Absolutely phenomenal performance by me. Not the kind of guy to brag or draw attention to himself. Memphis at Tulane. Memphis minus 13.5. I waited all week for this number to drop below 14. It's now under 14. If you go to Sportsbook Review at a lot of different books across the country, I think Tulane coming off of a really tough situation. Tulane coming off of a bad beat on the road against Ohio State, playing on a short week. I think that Memphis is going to have a real advantage here, traveling down to New Orleans. I like Memphis minus 13.5. Pitt at Central Florida. Pittsburgh on the road. They've been an enigma all season. Nobody has any idea what's going to happen with Pitt going up against the inexorable machine that is Central Florida. Minus 13.5. I like Central Florida, and I also like the over in this game. Pitt gave up 38 points last week to UNC. They're going to easily give up 40 to Central Florida. Central Florida so far has scored 56 and 56 against FBS competition. They continue to roll. Syracuse at Clemson. I like Syracuse and I like the over here. Last year, Syracuse and Eric Dungy beat Clemson head-to-head in the Dome up in Syracuse, New York. Syracuse right now is 4-0. They are 4-0 against the spread. They are going to score points. They are going to score a lot of points. I think Trevor Lawrence will come out a little bit nervous. It's different to be a starter at his age. And I think both teams will eventually end up scoring a lot of points. I like the over here, and I like Syracuse. Ohio State at Penn State. I'm going up to Happy Valley. I'm going to be watching this game in Happy Valley in person. My guy, James Franklin, he killed us last week on the Penn State-Illinois game. I think Ohio State is going to beat Penn State outright on Saturday in Happy Valley. It's going to be a whiteout. I will be in there in the crowd. It will be an awesome experience. I can't wait to be there. Somebody, by the way, just said Syracuse was a push last week. No, it wasn't. Not if you got the best number. If you waited until Saturday to bet, you got to push. That line opened at 27.5 and stayed at 27.5 for multiple days before it finally started to tick up slowly. Get the best number. Don't sit around and wait. So I'm trying to tell you, don't be dumb. Don't sit around and wait on the number. You got to pounce. Can't wait till Saturday morning to place your bets. You got to get on these numbers before they move. Everybody who was smart was on it and got the win. You didn't. If you took them at 30 or whatever the final number was, you got it by several different numbers. I say it all the time. Get the right number. Why would you not go to Sportsbook Review and not take your worst number? Open up multiple accounts if you need to and get the best number all the time. This is stupid to me that you wouldn't do that. I mean, honestly, what I try to always do is take the consensus number. So I'll look at Sportsbook Review, I'll look across at 10 different books, and I will take the number that is most common. Not the best number, the most common number. And so I don't understand why everybody doesn't do that. You would shop around. You wouldn't go into a store and pay more just because you happen to be in that store. You would open another account. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. Get the best number. So I am on Penn State. I will be there in person. It should be a lot of fun. My wife and I are traveling up to Happy Valley. Should be very cool. I was tempted to take the over, but it's all the way up to 70 now. And that's just a really high number, I think, for what's likely to be a really competitive top 10 matchup. Okay, South Carolina, Kentucky. I'm on the Wildcats. I gave them out at a pick'em. Kentucky is now a 1.5 or a 2-point favorite in this game. And I'm on the under. I gave it out at 51. It's now ticked down to 49.5. Past 2 years these teams played. Kentucky won 23-13 and 17-10. Kentucky has won 4 straight in this series. I don't understand why in the world this was ever a pick'em. I don't understand why at home Kentucky has not been favored by at least a field goal. And maybe it's going to end up Kentucky a field goal favorite. But we've already got it banked on a pick'em if you're a VIP. And I think the under is going to happen. Last 2 years, this game has gone 36 and 27, and the number is still sitting at 49.5. Both these teams, mirror images of each other, physical, try to control the line of scrimmage, try to run the football, and I love Benny Snell Jr. I think ultimately Kentucky has more talent there. I think Kentucky finds a way to win. That, my friends, is the blood bank guarantee, a double blood bank guarantee in Lexington, Kentucky. Tap the veins, get rich, kids. Florida, plus 7.5 against Mississippi State. Here's why I like this one so much. I love when you can bet on a former coach going back up against all the players that he recruited and all the players that he has game planned for years. Because nobody knows the strength and weaknesses better of Mississippi State's offense and defense than Dan Mullen, because he's watched them on tape for years. I love everything about Florida getting over a touchdown on the road. You know how badly Dan Mullen wants to go back into Starkville and make everybody else jealous. This is like when the hot girl gets dumped and then she shows up at the next party and she's lost like 10 pounds and she's wearing her best dress and she's wearing her best bra and she's got the best high heels on. She is going to look phenomenal when everybody else sees her, because she wants everybody else to think, what in the world were those idiots thinking what was that loser thinking when he decided to break up with her? Dan Mullen wants to go back into town and sashay around and make everybody in Starkville think, damn, Dan Mullen is fine as hell. What were we ever thinking letting him leave and getting in Joe Moorhead? Conversely, Joe Moorhead's got a lot of pressure on him now. You lose to Kentucky, and then you lose to Dan Mullen, all the bloom is off the Joe Moorhead rose. Nobody's running around saying, oh, we got a better deal now. We're a better team. You got your ass kicked last week by Kentucky. That wasn't fancy, 28-7. Nobody circles the wagons like Dan Mullen going back to Starkville. This is his only opportunity to go back to Starkville, too, remember, because this will only happen once every 12 years. So this is his only opportunity to go back and show everybody how much better he is. Stanford at Notre Dame. I'm on the under, and I'm on Stanford. Stanford has won 4 of the past 5 games. They've only lost in that sequence came by 3 points at Notre Dame. For the life of me, I don't understand why Stanford is not a pick'em here. I think this line is completely wrong. Plus 5.5 now. I love the under here, and I am on it. And finally, 13-0, the 13th pick. I'm telling you right now, Ole Miss at LSU. Over 58 was what I gave out. It's now at 59.5. I think this game is going to look a lot like the game at LSU between Ole Miss and LSU, Louisiana Tech and LSU. LSU puts up between 38 and 45 points. Ole Miss puts up between 24 and 28. The over cashes with ease. I'm telling you right now, this is a great play